All right, good morning. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, sorry, I just got to take a minute here. I do like photography too, it's a hobby of mine. And video, I guess, in this case, but man, it's just amazing out here this morning. A little chilly, but I love these sunrises. All right, so Friday, August 1st, we made it. Made it through another week, huh? So today is theme is save the judgment for God, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just judge everyone about judging. No, I'm just joking. That's not what we're doing here. The hypocrisy, though, it's yeah. I wonder where I got that from. But all right. So save the judgment for God. So it's easy to judge what we don't understand, but judgment isn't our calling, love is. We don't win hearts by condemning them. We win them by being a light, by showing grace, by walking in truth with gentleness. So let's stop acting like we're the judge, jury, and executioner. That's God's role, not ours. And so again, I should lead by example. I should be too busy working on myself and where I need to improve to be out there pointing fingers. Besides, when I'm pointing one finger at someone, I've got three pointing back at me. And, this a lot of time ties into, and, there's different views on this, but the serenity prayer. God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And to me, in its basic form, that's saying, God, allow me to accept the world as it is. Allow me to be the person I want to be and change myself with your help, in my case, to be that person. And the wisdom to know the difference between those two. So I'm going to be too busy focusing on Richard, on Dick over here, that I don't have time to be pointing out everyone else's flaws and all that. I mean, unless they're bringing it in my space, and then maybe we'll talk about it. But even then, there's a way to be constructive with criticism, and there's a way to be like a negative Nancy and just irritate everyone. So I'm going to try and be constructive with mine. And I find also when I am that way, if it comes to that case, people are more receptive to that. And I'll use myself as, the hamster, like, or whatever. Like, whatever I'm trying to make that person think of, I'll find a perspective in my life where I've been, the antagonist in that case, and share that perspective. So then I'm putting that weight on me, and maybe they can see my experience and how I dealt with it. And if it's something they like, maybe they'll repeat it. If not, that's on them, not me to worry about. But I can share my experience, strength, and hope where it's wanted, but it's not always wanted. So, all right, that was a long talk. Probably a lot of jargon. No, I mean, it makes sense in my mind, but I don't know if what I say, without editing makes sense to other people. So that's my raw give, take. I've been editing them for a little more clarity, but yeah, so that's just right off the top of my head. So our biblical verse for the day, let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone. John 8:7. So Jesus didn't excuse the woman's sin, but he silenced her accusers by exposing their hypocrisy. Before I speak judgment, I need to check my own heart. Only God sees the full picture. And that's the other thing. Like, God sees it all. We don't know their journey, where they're from, what they've been through, the nightmares they have, the We don't know. So I'm just going to try and love them and accept them for who they are, because it's the best I can do. And yeah, it gets rough sometimes, but especially when I'm trying to show love to something I really hate or I really despise, makes me angry. I try not to hate anything, but, easier said than done, right? All right, so our warrior wisdom: don't waste time arguing what a good man should be one. So that's a Marcus Aurelius quote. And once again, that's don't waste time arguing what a good man should be, period. Just be one. So be a good man. Don't sit there and argue about what a good man is. Just be a good man, person. Okay, no offense, ladies, I know. But person is what I mean. So the real strength lies in self-discipline, not in criticizing others. I choose to focus my energy on being the example, not enforcing the standard, right? Just for today, for my sobriety warriors, here's our sobriety truth and reflection. So an affirmation: I let go of the illusion of control and trust the process. Judgment is often rooted in the desire to control, trying to fix others instead of fixing myself. Sobriety is about surrendering daily, staying focused on my own walk, what I can change. All right, our inspirational quote for the day: be curious, not judgmental. That's often attributed to Walt Whitman from Breaking Bad. Oh, that's a horrible one after my sobriety warrior one. But, each their own, whatever. But the fact remains: be curious, not judgmental. That's a good one, I think. Curiosity opens hearts, judgment closes them. I don't have to agree with someone to try to understand them. And that's a fact. And who knows what I may learn along the way, because I'm not like all-knowing. Oh, look at me, I still have a lot to learn, and I have to keep that open mind, or I may miss truths that I'm seeking. That's my perspective anyways. So our reflection question for the day: where in my life have I been harsh instead of humble? Who have I judged before truly listening? And I'm guilty of this all the time. Like, I'll see someone walking into Walmart and I'll start just, yeah, I know. But oh, it's horrible, I know. I shouldn't be laughing about it. But it's true. It's human nature. And so it is a constant, it takes focus, and I have to be aware of it. And it takes intention. And so I have to keep it in my mind. It's just one of those things. And that's why I ground on it. Our daily challenge, or my daily challenge: when I catch myself judging someone today, pause, say this short prayer: God, help me see them the way you do. And that's powerful, and help me see them through that light of love, I guess. I don't do, but all right. So our knowledge nugget, our fun fact for the day: crows can recognize individual human faces and even hold grudges or show affection based on how they're treated. That's pretty amazing, huh? So that ties in today. Just like us, they remember who showed kindness and who didn't. My actions leave a deeper imprint than I may ever realize. And that's another thing about not judging people, but loving them for who they are. And I'm not saying, like, again, we can plant seeds where, like, some people, there's obviously something wrong and they, need some fixing or whatever, but it's not me. Like, I can plant seeds, but you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. And it's, yeah, you'll just want to pull your hair out if you think you can different, I think, and from my experience anyways. But all right, prep tip of the day: keep a small bottle of bleach unscented in your emergency supplies. Just 2 drops per quart of water can purify it in a pinch. And yeah, that's in a pinch. Don't go chugging the bleach, and I usually give it a day or two to air out, and the bleach will air out of the water, but it does take some time. And that's the other thing. Know the difference between filtering and purifying. Those are two different things. You can filter your water, but it still needs purified. And you can purify your water, but it may still need filtered to get all the gunk and stuff out of it. So that, and a lot of times you'll see people like, oh, purify it, and or oh, filter it, but they don't mention anything about purifying it. So just be aware is 2 steps to that process. That's a good prep thing to know too. Our word of the day, we're over time again, same as always, huh? Word of the day, forbearance. Definition: patience, self-control, restraint, and tolerance. Forbearance. Patient, self-control, restraint, and tolerance. It's a good word, huh? When I'm tempted to judge or lash out, forbearance is the quiet strength that whispers, let it go. This isn't mine to carry. I like that. All right, our gardening tip of the day: mulch thick before a heat wave. It keeps roots cooler and locks in moisture. Just like people, when things heat up, we all need extra grace, space, and cover. And, sometimes we got to walk it off to cool down. That's what works for me. You do what works for you. Our trivia, so yesterday was, which part of the human brain is most associated with emotional regulation and decision making? And the answer to that was the prefrontal cortex. And then, so today's trivia: which part of the human body continues to grow even after death? Yeah, huh? And we'll have that one tomorrow. So this day in history, 1834, slavery abolished in most of the British Empire. A reminder that justice begins when we stop judging worth by status or skin color or whatever. Martin Luther King, man, we need to judge by the character of their heart, not the color of their skin, the content of their heart. And even then, we shouldn't judge. We should, I believe we need to, I just accept things for what they are. I understand them, and I approach them accordingly. Like if I know a person's a liar or a thief, I'm not going to deny them, but I'm going to understand that and approach it accordingly. I'm not going to give a thief my most prized possession. Anything I do give them, I'm not going to give them things I might want back. All right, I'm getting off on a tangent again. All right. 1981, MTV launched, changing culture through media. That's crazy, huh? Think about the power of what we put into the world. Was that the beginning of the social media? Maybe not. That might be pushing a little far. Okay, 1944, Anne Frank made her last diary entry. Man, that's sad. Her compassion despite suffering reminds us not to judge others by the surface. Rest in peace. God bless Anne Frank. Our joke of the day. Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one. All right, I'm going way over here, so this is why I summarize and keep my reflection short. But my closing summary here: judgment is heavy, love is light. Today I choose to lay down the gavel and pick up grace. I don't know everyone's path or pain, but God does. It's not my job to jump to conclusions or carry a judgmental heart. So I'm putting away the jump to conclusions mat for good, and instead I'll strive to lead with empathy and understanding. I'll live my life in alignment with the values I believe in. I'll walk my own path, improve where I need to, and plant seeds where I can. If someone wants my experience, strength, and hope, I'll share it. But I'll leave the judging to God. That's not my burden to carry. So my prayer for today, again, well, I'm sure I'll have many, but this is how I'm starting it out. My morning prayer. Father, help me walk in love today. When I'm tempted to judge, remind me of my own flaws. Give me compassion, patience, and discernment. Let me be a vessel of your mercy, not a megaphone of pride. Amen. And my mantra for the day: lead with love, leave the judgment to God. And yeah, so that's what we got. I think that's a good topic, and we're hitting 15 minutes now. I'm way over. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we got our frequency in, we got grounded, we got tuned in. And if I did anything, feel free to share, subscribe, leave me a comment so we can have some conversations or maybe a different topic for me to talk about. But I got a whole bunch lined up, so whatever. If you got nothing to say, that's cool too. So thanks for tuning in. Much love. God bless. Peace out.